Hello and welcome to Mama J Love's Tea Party series. So I am introducing a new tea party series for you all today, and it is all about bringing in my good friends and acquaintances to talk about the goodness of God and things that they want to see in life, meaning little tidbits of wisdom and a little good conversation while we sip our warm beverages or refreshing drink. So grab yours and join us. So on today's episode, I am happy to announce that my first visitor is going to be one of my bestest friends, and her name is Katie. Hi Katie, welcome to the Tea Party series.
Hi Mama Jayla, thank you for inviting me. It's a huge honor. Hello listeners.
I'm really happy that you can join us today. Like this is exciting for me, and you get to be one of my first guests. So I'm really happy to have you. I really am. A little bit about me and my best friend Katie is that we're both moms, and our kids are actually 2 weeks apart. So we basically did the whole pregnancy thing together.
Yes, that was nice.
So I'm so glad that we can share this too as a first together. So Katie, I'm going to jump right in. So if you could tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so as Mama Jayla said, we are both moms, but before that, we were high school friends, so we've known each other for a very long time. And
like old ladies.
Yeah, so we're old but young at heart. Like I still feel like we're like teenage girls in high school sometimes, but it's been nice to have Mama J Love as a friend, companion, and even like a sister in Christ that we've gone through a lot of things together. From my background, I am a Guatemalan American. My parents are from Guatemala, and I've been married for about 10 years. I just had my anniversary last month, and my love was part of the bridesmaids. And like she said, we were pregnant together, so that was nice to have someone with you and go through that. I'm a teacher, not currently because of the pandemic, so I've been affected by that, but just surrounding myself with positivity and good friends like Mama J Love. So
you've been doing good, girl. Like, I love tuning into your Instagram. I ain't gonna share it on here, but she always got little chronicles just to cheer people up and make them feel good. So thank you so much, sister.
No problem.
And so I want to get into asking you a little bit more. What do you think is one obstacle that you have overcame in your life?
One obstacle, I'm going to say I'm still kind of going through it. It's just surrounding yourself with positivity and just keeping a strong mind, because there's so many things going on in this world, and I can even remember as a little girl I would have these sort of like really scary thoughts, like even just going to sleep and I think something bad is about to happen. So I'm happy that my mom was, involved with church and the Lord, and just making sure we have a personal relationship with Christ. And with that, I just keep praying and reading the word, praise and worship. And I would just say, like, when something just sounds so negative and crazy, don't think that it's you thinking that. Like, there's a spiritual warfare out there, and God's really helped me dealing with that. But so I would just tell the youth to, know who you are in Christ, know who you are as a person, and just you keep speaking the truth and don't let people or say anything negative about you. Like, you can do it, you can push through it, and just know that God is always by your side, and just, don't hesitate to ask for help.
Right. Well, that's good. I'm glad that, you've had your angels on earth here to help you out. Having your mom when you think in certain things is definitely a major plus. That's something that I wholeheartedly agree with, and that I hope that we can provide the same thing for our kids, when they go through their little scary periods, or the little monster under the bed, we can remind them, that there is a God higher than all of that. There's a light within them. There's a light within their room.
I know. It's funny you say light, because, I'm still, scared of the dark. I will sleep with the night light.
Girl, so I feel like if I knew the scripture, I'm going to find it, though, and I'm going to try to include it in the description. But, this little light of mine. So for me...
I still sing that in my head.
Right.
The power's out, in where we live,
But they mentioned the candle. I mean, there's always a candle in the Bible, or something about having a little light in your home. Even in the Proverbs 31, she prepares her house, and she's keeping the light on, making sure everything is good. So we shouldn't sleep in a total darkness place. So, but if we are, that's the big thing that I do want to mention, is that even if we are in a place of darkness, we have to remember that the light is within. So while we're kids and while we're going through hardships, definitely turn on the light in the house, but remind yourself, there's a light within you. So you call on God and let him know that he's in control. So that's the one thing I tell my daughter, turn the light on, because she loves her night light. And I like a little light too. But at the end of the day, we are also the light. We are also the light. And everything we do can light another person's candle. So helping each other, you being a good mom to your son is a light in itself. Same with me and my daughter. We are their lights. So reminding them, not only turning on the nightlight, but reminding them that we're here to make sure that they're safe, and that God will always watch over them, no matter what scary monster they think is under the bed.
And I try to I try not to share what I'm afraid of, even if it's silly as the dark. And with my son, I don't want him to be afraid of the dark too, because I have to be a role model to him, and I don't want him to see, oh, mommy's scared of that, so I have to as well. And I think kids are born pretty fearless. I feel like when you're afraid of things, they're kind of taught that too.
Okay.
So I don't want to teach him that. And he is not afraid of the dark by any means. He's not afraid of thunderstorms.
Well, he need to come talk to Lee, because she already.
So I try not to be a scaredy cat, but he'll ask me, Mommy, you're afraid of heights, right? I'm like, yeah, I am, but I did go on a 40-foot swing because I wanted to face my fear. I try to be okay, you can face your fear, but I'm not going to go skydiving. I'm good.
Exactly.
I face one fear, I'm good. I don't need to keep proving myself.
Thank you. Because I faced my fear that one time I went to, I think it was Disney, and went on that the Tower of Terror. And when I tell you, so the first drop, I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. And then it went back up, and then it went back down, and I was like, oh, okay, so it don't even matter if I'm scared. It's just gonna happen. It's just keep happening. And at the end of the day, we got off the ride, so we were facing fears.
You don't gotta do that again and again.
No, it was not fun. It was conquer, but it's not fun. I don't. I'm not gonna keep putting myself in that situation.
No. I know I'm not gonna go on a roller coaster anymore.
Right.
He can go on one with his dad if he wants to. I'm fine on the floor. I will hold all the bags and the souvenirs.
Exactly. So Well, girl, you went further ahead than me because you went on the 40-foot swing, girl. I would have to do some serious prayer before I got on that.
Yeah, and I cried after. I cried on the swing, and it was like a team building for my workplace, right? Like all the teachers.
Oh, yeah, y'all did do that.
And the guy who was assisting, he was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta face it. Look, you're wearing a Wonder Woman shirt. You can beat that Wonder Woman right now." Because I was like, I think I'm gonna get off. And I cried going on it during the ride, after the ride, and then I was like, you know what?
You did it.
I did it, and that's it.
Well, I'm proud of you. You did it, right? So we are out here. Okay, so you used your light within then, because girl, you had to shine to get on that.
I did. So I can be brave and still like I like knowing that I was able to do it.
Gotcha.
And that's fine.
That's beautiful.
I could share that with my son.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to face your fear and don't let it overtake your life. Like you said, don't let it control you. Mm-hmm. Face your fear head on. Do it afraid.
Right. Don't keep doing the crazy stuff, but yeah.
Right.
Like you said, don't keep doing it. Right. Fear of heights is a fear of heights. We went through something that we could try it out, make sure that we can do it if it's an emergency, because that's basically what it is. You went on that swing. If we had to cut across the jungle to escape from somebody, we know how to swing across.
Like Tarzan and James.
I'm okay with it, right? And when I had to walk across, I think I had to walk across a high bridge, and girl, I'm glad that at least we know we can do it. So if in emergency, we would do it. Just like like when I went on the plane for the first time, I was like, okay, if it was an emergency, I would be okay jumping out this plane, but I'm not doing it for fun.
Exactly. You don't know what you're going to end up doing in life, and you by yourself with your child or maybe an elderly person you're taking care of, and you just got to be that courage they need.
Exactly. Well, see, more power to us. Little by little, we learn little fear factoring, little conquests that we do for the fears, but you don't have to baby step. You don't have to throw yourself into your fear, but you can baby step with little things. So, you got a little anxiety, face it one step at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, if you take a big leap, put on a Wonder Woman shirt.
Yeah.
I love it. And what else did I want to ask you? Okay, so is there anything beyond what we talked about when it comes to fear that you would leave as a message for your son or the younger kids in addition to what we talked about?
Well, I would just say that, like I said before, I think kids are taught to be afraid of certain things, but I really think kids are like fearless. Like if you look at them, they're so adventurous. Like you take them to a playground. Mommy, I want to go on that pole that you got to slide down to, and I want to go climb this tree. Like they're just risk takers, and they're not scared about the consequence or if I'm going to get a boo-boo or get hurt. They just look at it as an adventure and as excitement. And I think as we grow older, we tend to get more timid of that, and we hold ourselves back in a lot of things. So maybe there's like, you want to audition to be, I don't know, maybe a cheerleader or be part of the choir or something at school, but you feel like I'm too afraid to do it because what if I don't make it? But I think we as adults I would say to the youth, like, just do it. Just do it afraid. Don't let anybody make you feel like you can't do something. Even if you get it wrong and you did, get the part, at least you know that you tried and you can move on to something else. Like, maybe this wasn't for you, but don't you feel better that you did it? Because you don't always want to be left with, man, I wonder what would have happened if I did this.
Exactly.
And I think people miss their calling or, just find your talent, find your gift. Like, go on that interview, even if you don't think you're qualified for it. Who says you're not qualified?
No, you never know. That person might just be looking for a person just like you.
Exactly. So I think I would just tell the youth, ask God to reveal to you your talents, your gifts, what you should do, maybe what career to take. Even when I was little, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Did I pass all the tests to do that? No, but I worked at a great place where I never would have thought I would have been in that position.
Girl, you a good teacher. You taught all kinds of kids in different places. I love it. And
exactly. And that was only through the Lord. Like I was able to do things I never thought I would. I never thought I would be a Spanish teacher because my Spanish is not perfecto. Okay, it's not all the time muy bueno, but I was a Spanish teacher, and that opened so many doors for me.
Yeah.
So I think God had a sense of humor like that because everybody, like, I'm the joke of the family. Like, I don't speak Spanish that well. How are you a Spanish teacher?
That's okay. You persevered. That's another thing. So, sometimes, yes, if your family is negative, you can still, negative in that sense, because, sometimes they don't know they're doing it, but for the most part, you can still do things in spite of your family giving you a hard time. Let that motivate you. Let it motivate you. Let it build you. Because this podcast took a long time. I really wanted to, Katie knows, I've always wanted to interview people. Like, I want to be like Oprah. And I want to open up my Airbnb and things like that. I have so many different little projects, but I basically like helping people. Like, I want to be out there giving people an opportunity to talk about themselves and just to motivate people, because so many childhoods that we've had has been a little bit tough and tricky because our parents were always told to wait to do something, or that's not ladylike, or that's not gentlemanlike, or that's not, and not to say that you shouldn't be a lady or a gentleman, but there's a right way to do things, and there's a right way to learn things. So I'm big on kids being able to at least ask questions. I think that's the biggest challenge I had in my childhood, is that I didn't get to ask questions. I get it that, sometimes it seems like you're being disrespectful, but I feel like with my daughter now, I'm more open to hearing her questions because I want her to ask questions to get the information. There's certain age groups that they can ask certain questions, but at the same time, I don't want to close her off from asking questions about life. Like, Mommy, what happens when the caterpillar does this? Or what happens when the animal does this? Or what do ballerinas do? And things that, pique her curiosity. That way she don't run around asking everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be her first line of Google site. And then, so that's one thing I would take away from the fear is, like, a lot of kids, since we're talking about fear, it seems today, I definitely want kids to be more able to be open about their questions that they have with their parents. Like, that would be one takeaway that I would want. I want my daughter to know that she can talk to me about things, and she doesn't have to feel like everything has to be stored inside because it's not the right time or it's not the right manner. I'd rather her ask me in a right way. Like, don't come at me, why not? Like, don't, we're not doing that. But just ask me a question. If I don't have the answer, then my goal is to find her the proper resources to get the right information, but not to push her away. And I did experience that in my childhood, so I don't really want her to go through that. So I do want her to not be fearful of conversation.
Right, well, with you don't want, like you said, you don't want her going somewhere else and ask a total stranger.
Yeah, like I would. Or she feel like she has to go on an adventure without me, but she doesn't have the proper guidelines because she never felt like she could talk to me about those things. Like, if she goes out with her friends or one day in the future, or she goes over to your house or whatever, she already knows, like, the things she can and cannot ask you, and she also knows what she should practice in that household. So I want her to be open, like, okay, Mommy, if I go to Auntie Katie's house, what should I do? And the first thing I'm going to say is follow Katie's rules. But I also know that since we're both women of God, I don't have to think too hard. I can just be like, follow Katie's rules. But if she was going to like a little sleepover and stuff like that, she has to ask more questions. I have to get to know the parent, things like that. So more questions, I think, builds better, less fear. You know what I'm saying? The more you can ask, the less fear you can have on something. And again, I also want her to know her first line of sight is to talk to God.
Yes.
Get some clarity. Mommy not available? Ask God. So building that relationship with God as she grows up is one of my goals as well. And then one last thing for you before we go ahead and close out. What does faith and trust in God mean to you, my dear Bestie?
Well, faith and trust in God to me means everything, and this pandemic really just opened my eyes and my heart, like everything about just how much we really need the Lord, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think anybody saw this coming, and a lot of people lost their jobs permanently. A lot of people got sick, a lot of people died, and it was like inevitable. I knew some people that were former members of the church years ago, they passed away from it. And it was really hard, it was very heavy, and I mean, who else are you going to run to but the Lord? You can't run to, let's say, your parents or your spouse for that feeling that you need from only the Lord can give you. You know, there's just so much as what a human can give to you, to another human, but you know, what the Lord offers you is so much more deeper than that. And He's the only one that can ever give you everything that you need. Like Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
That's my favorite.
I have everything you need, you know. So if it's only you and God, then that's it. Like, He's the creator of the universe. He's the king of the universe. And just having that faith and trust in the Lord is all that you need, that can help you live every day. And
you're true.
And just even with this, I'm not ashamed to say it, with all this craziness happening with unemployment, I mean, I've just been praying and asking for miracles, and just knowing that I can't trust the government. I can't trust the state of Maryland. I can't trust Governor
at all.
Logan. I can't trust these people, because they're not here for me. They want me to vote for them, but when I need them, where are they?
Right.
You know, they're off saying you don't need the extra $300 anymore. Just go find a job in 30 days. And you can't even get an interview for 30 days. Some companies, your resume could just be a sitting duck. So I trust in the Lord, and I have faith in the Lord 100% above and beyond. I know that at the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, I have Him and He has me, and there is no other place I would rather be than in God's hands.
Amen. Okay, girl.
My everything, and I don't want to put anything before Him. I don't want to put unemployment before Him, Medicaid before Him, food stamps before Him, my mortgage before Him. I know that He's going to supply all of my needs.
Yes.
And however He is going to supply it, the best way He's going to supply it. I don't need to intervene, because He's in control, not me.
Amen. You are speaking nothing but the truth, my love. So, on that note, I totally agree with you. I can't put my trust in all the system. It works when it wants to work.
When it wants to work, yeah.
But my God works all the time. Right. So my God works all the time. So when this system is a little bit hesitant and on pause, I already know.
Shut down.
Right. If the system is shut down, I already know who I should be going to first.
Right.
So at the end, you know what? I too was going through the unemployment thing, so I'm with you. And God has just made ways out of no way. Like, we have made it this far in spite of the pauses, the hiccups, the holds, the waiting time. the patience that God has instilled in me this year is
the grace
something.
of God.
Yeah, I never knew I was going to be this patient. Like,
Oh my gosh, all the phone calls I had to make with customer service, like we were talking about those little fears.
Yes.
I hated speaking to people over the phone. I felt like I was bothering them, or I'm getting on people's nerves. Like, doesn't this girl just get it? Just upload this document and press this button. I don't know. Like, now I told my husband, like, waiting is my middle name. Please hold and wait for the next representative.
At this
that's
point,
my middle name, girl.
Yeah. Now I'm like, yes, I've had.
Hey, happy day. Hey, girl, it's me again.
Right. How you been? I know I checked in last week, but I'm just following up. Right. So now we did.
Girl, I gotta tell. I think I need to upload my pay stub, my unemployment again. Can you help me, sure?
We are like you made new phone best friends and don't even know them. That's exactly what it's been teaching me. So I'm with you. And I do that. Oh, that's the other thing. I've had more patience with customer service than I have in my entire life. And now, like, being a part of customer service,
right?
Girl, my eyes is open.
That has a sense of humor.
You have to. He does. I feel like I'm washing everybody's feet at this point, but I see what Jesus was talking about, because I'm so humble.
Humble yourself.
Yes, I'm humble. Shoot, he humbled me, and then I feel humbled every time I talk to someone now. So it's like, it's been such a learning, and I'm grateful that we get an opportunity. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's a blessing to be alive, but it's a blessing to be alive and to actually share your life and your experiences with others. Like, we are getting a chance to talk about God and being here still. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's called some people home, but we're getting an opportunity to talk about him and how he has pulled us through in spite of the struggles, the challenges, everything. Like, shoot, sometimes you don't know where the bread is coming from. I'm so glad for the food pantries. I'm so glad for a lot of the people who have just been doing community service out here with their masks on and just, you know, trying to take care of the masses, because it was ridiculous. I mean, I'm not going to go deep into the politics because I try not to bring that here, but I agree that, like, you can't just put your trust into politicians. You have to know where your true source comes from, where your true help comes from, and all my help comes from the Lord. So if he works the system in my favor or to benefit some of those people in need, I'm grateful. We know where the help is actually coming from, so we just keep it going. And I'm so glad, again, that you were able to come through. Like, this was so much fun.
Yes, I have fun with you all the time.
All the time. We got to do a real tea party in person when things settle down. But I'm so glad you were here. I really appreciate your time. And we can go ahead and close out with prayer. But again, because you brought it up, I'm so glad you did. If everybody has a chance for this week, go ahead and take a look at Psalms 23. As my bestie mentioned, that is what keeps her going, and it is a good, fair, fighting prayer. So definitely add that to your queue for your reads during your devotion time. And we're going to go ahead and close out with prayer. If you have a moment, go ahead and close your eyes. Dear Lord, thank you so much for allowing us to have this conversation. It was needed. There's a lot of people feeling hurt and feeling fearful. Allow them to receive the clarity that they need to push through their fears and their struggles. Everything that we talked about today, let it add healing and an aid of peace to those who are going through the same struggles and feel like no one is feeling what they're feeling. Dear Lord, continue to protect us and keep us safe and provide as you have been doing from beginning to middle of where we are now. You're not finished yet. So I am thankful for everything. I'm thankful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for my friends and family. And just watch over us, Lord. Continue to grant us peace, mercy, and grace. And Amen. All right, thank you so much, Katie, for coming through. Hopefully you'll be back, and thank you all for listening and tuning in with us. Make sure if you like what you heard today, you go ahead and share it with a friend in need, and take care. Remember God first, and we'll talk to you again on the Peppermint Tea series. But this was a tea party series, so make sure you bookmark it because I'll have more guests in the future. But everyone have a great day. Katie, I'll be seeing you. Love you.
See you soon, hopefully. Love you.
And give a close out for everybody. Go ahead and tell them.
Thanks for tuning in. And I love Mama J Love. Like she said, this is one of her passions, her dreams. And passions and dreams all begin with a thought. So, and she did it. And
thank you.
I'm so happy that she did. And just go after your dreams, even if you think it's small. Small dreams can become big dreams, and who knows what doors and opportunities your dreams will open.
Amen.
Just go for it.
Go for it. All right, everyone, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, and welcome to Mama J Love's Tea Party series. So I am introducing a new tea party series for you all today, and it is all about bringing in my good friends and acquaintances to talk about the goodness of God and things that they want to see in life, meaning little tidbits of wisdom and a little good conversation while we sip our warm beverages or refreshing drink. So grab yours and join us. So on today's episode, I am happy to announce that my first visitor is going to be one of my bestest friends, and her name is Katie. Hi, Katie. Welcome to the Tea Party series.
Hi, Mama J Love. Thank you for inviting me. It's a huge honor. Hello, listeners.
I'm really happy that you can join us today. Like, this is exciting for me.